Repairing the rusty dashboard is next on the S71 Olds project.
The dash panel, the upper cowl, and the inner cowl are all three separate pieces. So what we did was we called Desert Valley Auto Parts and got us a full dashboard and cowl and trimmed it up and pretty much just popped the old one out and put it in. We started out by drilling out all the spot welds across the top, and then we went inside the car and cut it away from the A-pillars and across the bottom to where it was on the inner structure of the cowl panel, firewall, more or less. This big hole is where the cowl and the dashboard used to be. Here where the cowl area is and the dashboard met, in this area here, there was rust all the way through, and there was some up here in this area too. So what we did is we got a piece from Desert Valley Auto Parts to replace this section. Desert Valley was really generous in giving us enough to work with. We ended up cutting most of what they gave us away. Really, you know, all we needed was the top of the cowl and the dash pad, or dashboard. What we did was we plasma cutted all our major access and then drilled out some of the factory spot welds that would not be seen, and then flipped it over and we ground the old cowl off of the top of the cowl. So when we set it on top of what we cut off of the car, we could spot weld it right to the original spots and there would be no indication that we were there. What I'm going to do is clean up the metal we don't need off of the other part and pretty much sneak it under this piece here on both sides. All this existing metal that's already here and clean, we're going to use our new HTP spot welder and come across the front and in this area here to where there's no grinding or no welds, just the spot weld. Just like original. I didn't separate the dash from the cowl. I stuck it inside the car, went in from the inside, and had to bend the tabs up of the upper cowl just a little bit and slide through the windshield opening. And then from there, it was just tucking it under each side of the existing cowl and firewall. We went ahead and we vice gripped it all in place. Most of all the spot welds that we had drilled from before all lined up with our new drilled spot welds. Well, we got the cowl and the dash panel set in, put where it needs to go. As you can see, most of these holes, they're not too far off, but they're really close to the factory spot welds. That's a good indication that we know we're about right where we need to be. And that just shows you that most of the time the cars that run down the assembly line get welded in the same spot, no matter what car it is. What I'm going to do is, all these spot welds that are originally there from the factory, I'm going to take our HTP spot welder and I'm going to hit right at that same spot. When we clamp and do the weld, and we grind this away or clean this off, it'll never appear that we ever did anything. There was only a few spot welds across the top and a few tack welds on the inside of the dash. Relatively an easy replacement. Well, this repair eliminates any kind of water seeping into your car. You know, this is a very common problem that these cars have. For some reason, they collect water and moisture under that stainless trim, and they start to rust out. If you don't do anything about it, or if you try to, you know, butch it, it will come back. You have to replace the metal. Can we say butch it?
Yeah, that's fine.
They'll know what butching it is.